Greetings to you all and praise the Lord Jesus Christ. Welcome to today's show on the journey to become. I am your host, Beatrice Kamau. With us here is Rose Nakse, who will begin by greeting us. Rose.
Okay, my name is Rose Natse. Hi, our viewers. I am happy to be here and so humbled by invitation meeting.
Okay, karibu sana. So we begin by unaweza tuambia chenye unafanyanga. Yes.
Okay, I am a counselor and a mentor and a founder of Tujielewe Global. Tujielewe Global is an organization that addresses the gaps in the family setup. And how we do this is with a holistic approach on addressing morality and choices that people make in life.
Okay, in Tujielewe Global, how did it begin?
Okay, Tujielewe Global was birthed out of a teens program back in 2019 in Maimahiu. And it was birthed out of the many issues that children were raising that are affecting them. And one of them was to do with parenting. The other one was to do with drugs. The other one was to do with mental ailments, which are not addressed. So that is how our organization was birthed. And having known that this is what is affecting the child that is raised in the family setup, we realized that holistically we need to approach the family from an angle that no one is left. Whether it is the man as a father, whether it is the mother and the child.
Okay.
So we now realized it is good to create awareness of all those gaps. Tujielewe is a Kiswahili word, which is basically to be fully aware of who you are and be able to enrich your purpose.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Tujielewe, it's based on the fact that nowadays most people wanasuffer juu ya identity crisis. Unaweza semaje kuhusu hiyo?
Okay, identity, it is what makes someone to become who he wants to be in life.
Okay.
And identity, it's something that is really something that is need to be put in check. Because when a man is in identity crisis, the family suffers. When a woman is in identity crisis, the family, the community, and the society at large suffers. And also to do with the child. If there are gaps not addressed, that child suffers identity. So it is something that is very huge and meaningful when it comes to becoming of somebody.
Okay.
Because you cannot become who you are not.
Okay.
Because identity, it is not something that is built on. It is received. So it is basically to where this person is heading to and who is leading this person to where they are heading to.
Okay.
Yes.
So meaning that whatever we're experiencing in Kenya today, sexual perversion, alcoholism, drugs and all that, can be the root mostly would be an identity crisis.
Yes. Identity crisis highly contribute to where you are meeting each and every one of us.
Okay.
Whether it is to do with a mental ailment, whether it is to do with drug abuse, whether it is to do with children rebelling, whether it is to meet a father who is abusive, a mother who doesn't know who she is, and she's not playing her role well. It will all come to a place where there is a quest for her identity, for his identity.
So that I believe that's the reason why you're so passionate about purposeful parenting.
Yes. Purposeful parenting is something that I'm very passionate about because it's a place that you can be able to cultivate an authenticity that is able to help our children to understand life and the realities of life. Okay. And they can be able to know that if I'm able to keep my reality at check and I am learning from my mom that she's living, people, it's ought to be with real, becoming real. And at a place where they can build authenticity and also be able to journey with their children effectively. Because purposeful parenting, it's something that is intentional. How intentional are you to journey with your son? How intentional are you to journey with your daughter?
Okay.
Yeah.
So what would you say to some of the youth who have grown in places where maybe their parents are so fake, and they are looking for, or they are either looking for people who can mentor them, people who they can look up to, and they have no one to
I can tell the young generation that hope is not lost.
Okay.
There are avenues that they can seek to talk to someone, a counselor, or confide in someone they trust. Okay. Be able to build a stamina that can be able to help them navigate around adversities of life. Okay. Because the adversity intelligence is very key when it comes to fully enriching who they are. Okay. And if they feel dimmed because of where they are coming from, there's something we cannot question God, because He knows why He put you in that family. Okay. And the only thing that can help you, it is to understand and be happy that there is a reason why you exist as a young person. Okay. And be able now to join with people that can help you to enrich your potential. Okay. Yeah.
Are there maybe some tips you give to people who are going through the same, like they are lost, they have this misidentification? How can they find themselves? What would you say?
I would tell them it is good to point themselves to God. Okay. Let them know God, because God is the answer. Okay. God is the one who created them. Parents are there to support them in journey life and direct them. But where they are directing them, it is to He who fashioned them. So I would say that when you have God, you are somebody. Because God has the answer for every quest that you have as a young person. So if you look up to Jesus, He has the answer. And also be able to connect with people who have right minds like you. Okay. Yes.
Let's talk about the way we have talked about how it all began. Yeah. What inspires you as a person? Was this something that you thought you would become, or how did it happen?
Okay. As a young girl growing up, okay, I would look at my grandfather, who was a very alcoholic, and I realized that my grandfather would mostly talk about his issues when he's drunk. And I didn't know, unconsciously I was listening to him and encouraging him and comforting him. And I got saved when I was in class 7, and I started attending crusades. And I met myself, I would sit with people who feel so lost. People who are in alcoholism. When I see someone is down, is not able even to rise because of alcohol, I would pick them. If I'm in a crusade, I would love they stick to me, because I want them to know the Jesus I know. And that really motivated me, because when Jesus came in my life, I was in total darkness. And when I came to light, I was able to see life in a better way. So that really motivates me, the Jesus that is in me, that I can be able to talk to people about Him, and what I have I can be able to give to someone who is struggling, so that they can better their life. I may not have money to give, but also words are needed to affirm someone who is discouraged, suffering self-esteem, and not able to address some matters.
Can we talk about affirmation and how we affirm our children so that they become people of substance?
Yes. Affirming your child, one, you have to get to know the strength of your child and the weakness of your child. And that really helps you to understand how do you come in. because you may think that you are farming your child, whereas you are pressing them from where they are coming from. And one tip that I can give to a parent out there about affirming your child, when you know the strength of your child, become the cheering school they need in life. Because you are the first support system and you are the role model that they look up to. So that is one tip that really helps. Knowing your child, knowing that you are available. Even when they are bullied out there, they meet other things out there, they know that my support system is intact and is available to journey with me in life.
So meaning that if there are kids there and you know, like today in modern parenting, you find parents are neglectful of their kids, they are busy working, busy schedules and all that. What would you say to such parents?
I would say it is not about a present, it is about presence. Okay. Being available to your child is the greatest investment you can ever do as a parent. We can be out there and one day I asked a parent, you have all these buildings, but who will you leave them to? Because the son was a drunkard and a stench one at that. And he would not even wake up to go to work. And he was really traumatized. If today I am to die, what will I leave behind? And I remember telling him that it is to do with who you leave behind, not what you leave behind. Okay. So it's good to invest emotionally to our children. They're able to understand that they have parents who are their friends and who are their support system, and people they can learn to when adversities of life come in. And that one builds a confidence that will be able to make your child, as he goes out there in the world, he'll become independent, but not continue to depend on you and he has grown to be an adult.
Parents, I hope you have had that. It's not what you leave behind, it's who you leave behind. Your legacy is are your children. So create time for them, be present, so that we can begin tackling the things that are happening in Kenya today, so that your child will not be the next alcoholic, will not be the best sexual, perversion and all that, so that he can become, or she can become, a person of substance. Let's talk about your journey. Okay. How has it been?
My journey has been good, but with up and downs. It has not been easy. And sometimes you feel like giving up. But you wake up the next morning and you remember you are a woman on a mission. And you remember the mission is to raise a dignified, godly generation. So you have to keep pressing on because people are watching. And I have to be on the lead as I talk about raising a dignified, godly generation. I have to be that person they can look up to and say, surely I can live that dignified life and a fulfilled life.
There's something I've captured with what you've said. So purpose is what makes you wake up every day and not give up. Can you tell us more about maybe purpose and how, those who want to give up, how is our uplift, so that, they don't, wapate wako na hiyo courage ya move to the next stage.
Okay, thank you, Betty. One of the things that I've realized about purpose, you have to know who you are. Okay. If you don't know who you are, you cannot be able to live your purpose, your God-given purpose. Because
there's something about what you've said that has really caught my attention. You've talked about not giving up. It's an issue of finding your purpose. What would you say concerning that?
I would say when it comes to somebody living fulfilled in life, they have to know their purpose. Why do you exist? And when you are able to understand who you are able now to unleash the potential that lies within you and live your purpose fully. Yes.
Okay. So in your journeys, your purpose is what has motivated you to be the woman you are and you're becoming. Okay. Concerning that, what are the challenges that you may face zenye zimejaribu kupull down, and how have you tackled them so far?
Okay. I'll talk about what I do. Okay. And basically it's something that really touched the heart of the community, which is family. Okay. And one of the challenges is basically to do with issues of domestic violence, how they are addressed here. Because they don't see it as if it's they call it hotspot. I think they call it hotspot. But there are so many issues of domestic violence, and people have made about it, which one is affecting the child and also affecting the family at large, affecting the space, the conducive space that a child look to be safe, look to be loved, look to be affirmed and taken care of. And that is one challenge, because when you call, even the number that they tell us to 12, sometimes the issue is not addressed. And mostly you meet that some of the cases that I've also handled is to do with drunk women, and they are really fighting a lot. And you meet that woman is really struggling even to get out of alcohol. When you listen to the story, you hear so nasty things behind the story, why the woman has resorted to drink. And you know, such a person in the community, you find that such a woman is someone that is looked like she's a useless person, or she doesn't know who she is, and she doesn't know what she wants. Or nikama, in our language we say githagathago. And you meet her issue is not addressed, whereas she is really in pain from within, and she's trying to mask with alcohol. And that is one issue. Another issue is to do with, I have a program that I address the addicts and alcoholism in Rimuru. It's called the E program, which happens every Thursday at Life Church. And that program, people are able to access a safe space, and they are able also to access medication and therapies. And you meet most of the families, when it comes to rehabilitation, they have another notion about rehabilitation. So you may meet that they are in denial of what their children are going through. Sometimes you may call even a parent to come address a matter, and she's like, it's not my child. There's a time I tried rescuing a girl somewhere, and the mother, when she came to the police station, the mother is in denial that my daughter cannot do this, whereas she even has the drugs with her. And it is very sad because that is one challenge that the parents need to embrace, any safe space that they can access with their children, because one, you need to build a community that can help you to journey effectively with your children. You need to understand that you cannot journey this alone. The child belongs to the community when she or he comes to this world. So anyone that is trying to help you and become a support in your journey, it is good to embrace them, because not everyone wish you bad. Many people are looking for a way that every child can be safe.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. About the program, maybe you can share with our viewers so that they'll know how they can reach you and and find assistance.
Okay. We have an AA program that started this year for anyone that is struggling with alcoholism and want out. You can access us if you're struggling with addiction, a family that needs consultation on the matter or advice. We are here to help. We are based in Rimuru, behind Naivas, and the date for the meeting is on Thursdays from 8 to 1. You can access us, and we will be able to help you. Our number is 0740 228499, and the person that will receive that phone call will be Rose.
Okay. Yeah. Now, Rose, we can talk about now the journey, because at this show it's about teaching young people that life is not simple. When you have goals, they take time to become, because we are experiencing so much suicide all the time. People are drug addicts, and there's so many things happening in Kenya. What would you say concerning you, out of your own experiences? What would you tell our youth?
Okay, I'll tell them that there is hope. Okay. And you are not in this world by a mistake. And another thing is to tell you, we have been there. We have journeyed through, and the far we have come, we have made it. Okay. You can also make it. When you talk about suicide, did I tell you I've ever tried suicide?
No. Maybe you should tell us why, so that they understand.
Okay. And it was something very petty. When I was young, the first time I attempted suicide, I was in class 7. Okay. And I attempted, I didn't commit suicide. Yes, I am there. My mom had bought rati. And when she came with it, we were living in a house, and some rats were getting to the house. And we couldn't talk much. That time I'm born again, I feel like I know it all. And my mom, by then, she is that woman who love her things done orderly. And I would meet myself, yes, I'm doing things, but not in the way she wants. Okay. And I realized that my mom, this is her house. Today is when I realized that was my mom's house, and she had rules for her house and how things are supposed to be done. But back then, I was very defensive. And I'm like, my mom doesn't appreciate anything I do. Or she doesn't feel me. It's like I don't exist in this house. And I said, what the reason for me to be here? I took the rati, went behind the house. And then I sat down. And what made me run away was the lightning. I did commit suicide. And I realized my time was not up. I went back home in the house, so traumatized, and I was like, nimejifunika. And I'm like, God, what was I trying to do? Okay. But today, as a mother, I understand my mom. Okay. But most of the young generation, they feel as if the mom or the father is trying to intimidate them, or is trying to learn their lives. But it's all for a good reason. There are things done in this way, done in this manner. There is a boundary, and this is how you should go about things. And when you live with somebody, you should respect the rules of that house until you get your own house.
There's something I want us to talk about, like based on the fact that in today's society, information. There's so much information going around, and I think it's part of it's part of what causes so many problems in the house. Yeah. What would you say to kids who feel, I know everything, my babangu ni analog, maybe ni digital? What would you say to such parents, so that parents first, and then to the kids, so that they are able to create your conducive environment where the parent can teach the child, and the child can listen and benefit from the parents' instructions?
I would say, in our language we say, ngano shiamari mune shiadirire. Okay. So our life experiences as parents, our children can learn from them. Okay. And understand it is not you being analog. Okay. And you are the one who is an adult who should lead the way. And let me tell you, the amazing thing when your child is able to learn from your story, we'll be able to see you not as a superhero, but as someone approachable. Okay. The reason that we find that our children out there are not able to access us, it is because we behave as if we are so perfect. We have never made any mistake. Okay. As a teenager, when you are a teenager, there are things you didn't do, but your girl is doing. Not knowing once you are a teenager, and you felt those butterflies as a woman. That man, you felt, and you need to approach a lady. Understanding that you are able to give a positive approach, talk to them about relationships, talk to them about sex, because with your life experiences, you have given them a room and a space where they can talk, and you can also be able to have conversations.
You know, the reason I'm saying that is because most parents, like the way you've said it, it's like they never experienced that, and so for children have gone to other places to seek for information.
Because they are looking for self-worth and acceptance. And when our children knows they are accepted when you are available. Our children knows that they have a mother and a father who they can journey with when you yourself, you can have conversations with them, candid conversation, not only hi, how are you, how was your day? It is beyond that. Intentionally having conversation and talking about challenges of life, and also having to create time where you can build a rapport, so that those conversations can be at a place where they can learn from them and not run away from it. Because a child runs from the conversation. I'm talking about running, literally running, and saying, today need a conversation ya baadhi, today need a lecture ya baadhi. So that one can only happen when we build a rapport, and they will be able to look up to us as role model and learn from us.
About our teens, currently we're home, and they'll be going back to school very soon. And we all know that vitu zenye zina happen shule, like gazing, it's in the rise. Lesbianism is in the rise. Watoto drugs, it's in the rise. Sexual perversion, anything crazy in the high school. What would you advise watoto wakirudi shule that you never went there to do those things, and in case you find yourself in such a situation, utafanya nini?
One, what I would love to tell a teenager who is going back to school, you have a life beyond education, and one day you will be a parent or you'll be a teacher. But it's good to understand what you build at that time. It is what will be able to help you to become that person you want to become in life. The scars that you'll get out of the hurts will be able to be positive in your life. I will be able to positively contribute in your life, or negatively contribute to your life. So another thing is, are you facing a challenge? Talk to someone that you can confide in. Don't keep quiet about it. It is time that you talk about it before you become a shadow of yourself. Today, what is happening in the society, it is something that was created. It is not something that lies within you, that it should be a baggage that leads you to commit suicide, to become an addict, or to lose yourself. You are somebody who can become great in the community, in the society, and it all lies within you.
About now purpose. We have talked about life, how the different issues we are facing in our society, they arise, and you've given us some of the solutions parents can use, young adults can use. But now I want to ask, how has the journey been, being a mom, being a pastor, being the founder of Tujielewe Group? How has the journey been?
It has not been easy, especially to balance with family. And one of the things that has really affected what I have been doing at first was to do with the issue of knowing I am doing all this, but I need to make sure that no one is affected in my life, whether it is to do with my marriage, whether it is to do with my children, tujielewe, and also ministering the word of God.
Okay. Yeah. The reason I'm asking is this is because most women, when they begin maybe to let's say they get into marriage, they drop everything else so that they can pursue marriage and kids, and you want to tell them that purpose is greater than just marriage. And what did you say concerning that?
Actually, I felt a victim because when I got married, I settled and I started raising my children.
Okay.
But in the midst of that, there was a startup. A lot happened, which made me remember the promise I had made to God. I want to serve Him. And I would say God has journeyed with me. He has been so great. He has been so much of help in terms of what I am doing. Tujielewe and becoming a mother that is felt by the daughters and being an example, it has also been a learning process. Sometimes I find like I am addressing a topic and God is testing me with my daughters. I have teenagers, I have a young adult, and also a preteen, and a young girl who is also approaching in preteen.
Okay, the reason I'm asking that is because, as a woman, you find most women, maybe that's why maybe I suppose the marriage issues would ever end, because a woman feels like yeye aliingia mahali na ako trapped, juu haezi work, haezi fanya anything. What would you say to them in the direction of your purpose?
I would say nothing should stop you to live your purpose.
Okay.
Whether you get married as a woman or whether you marry as a man, it is good to continue living the God-given purpose.
Okay.
Because that one is what will help you become that person that He fashioned to be. So if you become somebody less of what God ordained you to be, you will live a shadow of yourself. A mother and a father, you need to understand that our children learn from us. So if we live our purpose, our children will learn that there is a purpose to be lived for, and they will live up to where you are leading them.
Okay.
Yeah.
How have the challenges you've gone through, how have God used them for you to process you to be the woman you are today? Because most people, pain kills them, pain eliminates their vision. But how have you been handling your challenges so far?
I'll tell you, Betty, pain is good.
Okay.
But at the beginning, pain was something that was really troubling me.
Okay.
No one doesn't fear to go through pain. And my journey, I can only say it has taken the hand of God. It has been full of up and downs. I remember back 2 years ago when my husband was attacked because of what I am doing.
Okay.
It was really painful and I felt I quit. And God was not done. And someone traced me in Rimuru and reminded me what I was doing in my Mahio. And all of a sudden I met myself, it's like something has been chucked up, and I started feeling the energy again to continue doing what God has assigned me. So I'll tell you, this journey, it is not an easy journey. It is full of up and downs. Sometimes you may wake up, you feel like you don't want to continue. Just like the way you would find in ministry, because tujielewe, we liken it to ministry.
Okay.
Because it's something you give a lot, because it is all to do with addressing the issues of the less privileged. Okay. And fewer people who are able come our way. So the biggest challenge is to journey with those people with some of the issues they are going through, and you don't have their help. Yeah.
Lastly, there's something about when we were talking, there's something I note with everything you're saying. comes from a relationship with God. Identity, you need a relationship with God. Purpose, you need a relationship with God. Dealing with challenges, you need a relationship with God. Can you expound on that?
Yes, the safest relationship anyone can ever have, it is in God.
Okay.
When you want to live your purpose, the safest way to journey and discover who you are, it is in God.
Okay. Because at the end of the day, He created you. He knows what's best for you. And He wants the best for you. Because I believe the reason so many people are suffering today is because they have refused or neglected that fellowship. What would you say to them so that we can be reconciled to God, or come to Jesus or something like that?
Okay, I would say the scripture is very clear that Jesus came to save the lost. And one of the things is that if you feel lost, Jesus still loves you. If you feel like you want to be restored back to the fold of Jesus, He still opened His arms wide to receive you because you are His child, and that one will never change. Despite of all the messes, He's still calling and knocking and telling you, my beloved daughter, my beloved son, I am here and I still care. Because one, we need to understand, when we are raising a dignified, godly generation, salvation belongs to us and our families. So there is a big mandate of everyone coming to Jesus and getting saved, to know the power of our Lord Jesus Christ, and to know that He loves, He saves, He delivers, and He makes us unreach who we are, and we are able to live our God-given purpose.
Then I'll conclude by saying that if you really want to live, begin by knowing Jesus Christ, because in Him there is life, there is truth, and He's the way. He's the sure way to this life. He's the sure way. He's the sure life. He's the sure truth.
Yes.
So in the midst of confusion, make sure you talk to Jesus. In the midst of, if you don't know where you're supposed to be, you don't know your identity, you don't know your purpose, seek from Him and He's going to tell you. In case you're confused about life itself, ask Jesus. He's the very essence of life itself. So with that, we'll conclude at that point. Thank you, Rose, for joining us. Thank you for the wisdom, because it takes a woman of wisdom to say what you have told us, to teach us and direct us, so that our families are restored. Because family means community is restored, our nations are restored. And with that, God is smiling in heaven. With that, thank you so much for being with us. Subscribe to our channel at Revealing Christ Ministries, the journey to become, and we are in Life Church International Limuru. Thank you so much, and God bless you. Until next time, shalom.
Bye. Thank you.